Hi, I'm Katie Manley. I'm a Georgia Master Naturalist, and today I'd like to talk with you about something really exciting. Trash. Excited? No, not really. Not yet. But by the end of this speech, I'm hoping you will be. First, I'd like to talk to you about trash, waste, and its impact on the environment. I'm going to provide you with some alternative solutions you can use to reduce waste, and then I'm going to encourage you to reconsider some different options before you throw something away. First off, there is no such place as away. All trash ends up somewhere, either in landfills, through litter on the side of the road, or unfortunately, sometimes in our oceans and other bodies of water. This is a chronic but preventable problem, and you can help. We use entirely too many plastics as consumers, and this can be things like takeout containers or disposable bottles of water or even plastic cutlery, things like that, straws even. So think about some of the ways that you use plastic every single day. I bet you before you even leave your house in the morning, you've used something that's plastic and maybe even thrown something away. In the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, there is a space that is twice the size of Texas that is full of garbage. Some people would call that refuse or waste, but let's call it what it is. It's garbage in our ocean. And that's off the Pacific coast, off of California. That's 2 times the size of Texas. Imagine that. And the biggest problem with plastic is that it never goes away. It doesn't disintegrate. It only breaks down into tinier pieces called microplastics. Plastic equals 90% of all the trash floating in the ocean. That's 46,000 pieces per square mile. Think about that. That is a lot of plastic. And the other problem with plastic is that 50% of the plastics we consume are only used once and then thrown away. So think about every time you go to a vending machine and get a Coke. That's a lot of plastic to throw away. The average person actually sends about 185 pounds of recyclable plastic to a landfill every year. So that means things that you could recycle, lots of us are just throwing in the trash. And remember, there's no such place as away. It all ends up in a landfill or somewhere else. Even things like plastic cigar tips and fishing line or rope. These things are ending up in areas where wildlife actually gets affected by it. So there is a photograph here of an American oyster catcher with a plastic cigar tip stuck on his bill. That's going to inhibit his ability to actually find food, and this bird may end up dying from that. And then also we have a rosette spoonbill that has fishing line tied around its bill, and that's going to basically be a death sentence to the animal. Plastics and other waste also impact our environment. It makes the air less breathable. It makes our waters dirty. It makes land dirty. It's just an all-around not fun thing to have. So what can you do? Here's my call to action. It's easy for us to say, oh no, something has to be done. But the easier part is actually doing it. So recycling and waste reduction is actually an area where you can have a huge impact in your own community, in your own life, and actually make this kind of a lifelong sort of mission of yours. So the first step is never litter. Don't litter ever. If you see litter, if you're out walking in a park, if you're hiking a trail, pick it up. Just put it in your pocket, in a backpack, and then make sure you dispose of it properly. A lot of stuff is recyclable. So make sure that if you're throwing something away, you do have the option of recycling instead when you pick up the litter, and that goes a long way. Next, reduce your plastic use. Look for reusable options. Something like reusable containers instead of plastic containers that you just throw away. The third option for something that you can do to make a difference in the waste that's ending up in landfills and oceans is bring reusable shopping bags when you're shopping. Keep one in your car so that if you have an unexpected error, you're prepared. Fourth, stop buying bottled water. Use a refillable water. You'll always have a bottle with you. You'll stay hydrated, that's a bonus. And you won't be contributing to more than the 35 billion plastic bottles that are sent to a landfill each year. 35 billion with a B. That's a lot of bottles. And that's an easy fix. So if you can only do one thing, That's a great one. Use a refillable water bottle. Next, I know that you're going to need to use plastic sometimes. So when you do need to use plastics, before throwing something away, recycle it. Rinse it out and recycle it. This includes paper, plastic, glass, and aluminum. Virtually everything can be recycled. Check to see what your local facilities accept and go from there. And finally, buy items that are made with post-consumer content. So things that someone has already recycled. This encourages manufacturers to actually purchase the recyclable raw materials for their goods. And that encourages people to actually recycle, but it also encourages manufacturers to buy recycled content, which is helpful in encouraging the whole process of recycling and reducing the waste that ends up in our landfills and oceans. So now I want you to look forward to the future. Imagine a cleaner future for your family and friends. Imagine oceans that are clean, fresh air, and trash-free areas for wildlife. The future depends on action from people like you. And it's so easy to have a huge positive impact. I hope this has encouraged you to reconsider before you throw something away. There is no such place as away. I really appreciate your time, and I hope that this will make a difference.